Welcome to our documentary about skin. In this video, we'll be talking about the layers of the skin, our sun lab that we performed yesterday, and, of course,
diseases! Because everyone can get diseases. And we're going to be talking about all that good stuff right now.
for our sunscreen project, we have the control, SPF 50, and of course SPF 30. And we are going to be testing sunscreen.
So we're outside and we're going to see if the beads change color. We're going to see if you can see our control group has already started to change. Some of the SPF 30s and SPF 50s have started to change, but only the purple ones. Oh, now the pinks are starting. Oh no! But we can definitely see a difference between the controls and the sunscreen ones. For the next few minutes, we are going to be talking about the layers of the skin and the anatomy of the skin. In this picture, you can see the anatomy of the skin, which includes the hair follicle, sweat gland, and the other two aren't exactly listed in this picture. And we're also going to be talking about the layers, which is the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. And the epidermis has more layers. I'm running out of time. Here we go! This picture shows the layers of the epidermis, and the first layer is called the stratum corneum. This is a layer of dead cells that is 20 to 30 millimeters thick. These thick keratinized cells protect the deeper layers, and they regularly shut off from your body. The next layer is called the stratum granulosum. These cells begin to flatten and disintegrate. They accumulate keratin granules that are responsible for waterproofing the skin. The next layer is called the stratum spinosum, also called the spiny layer. It's named for the irregular shape of the cells. It is several cells thick and contains pre-keratin filaments. The next layer is called the stratum basal, and it is constantly dividing and pushing up cells to the next layer. After all of those layers, we can see the melanocytes, which we are going to be talking about now. The melanocytes are spider-shaped epithelial cells found in the bottom two layers of the epidermis, the stratum basal and the stratum spinosum. They produce a pigment called melanin, which is absorbed by the nearby epidermal cells. Melanin protects skin against the harmful UV rays of the sun. When UV radiation mutates a skin cell's DNA, the cells begin to divide uncontrollably, which can cause skin cancer, which we will be talking about later. Now we will be talking about the anatomy of the skin. We will go more in depth about the dermis and the hypodermis, and we'll also be speaking about the hair shaft, sebaceous gland, sweat gland, and hair follicle.
We are now going to be talking about the dermis, which is a layer composed of dense, irregular connective tissue, which has a bunch of nerve endings, blood vessels, sweat glands, and hair follicles within the layer. There's also something called the dermal papillae, which is a boundary between the epidermis and dermis, which causes the creases to make your fingerprints. The next layer we're going to be talking about is the hypodermis, which is a loose, fatty connective tissue that connects the skin to the muscle and bone. In this segment, we're going to be talking about the hair shaft, which is part of the hair that sticks out of your skin. It's made of dead cells, and the erector muscles cause it to stand. In this picture, we have the sebaceous gland, which produces sebum, which is the oil found in your skin. It's more found on the scalp, face, but not located on your palms or anywhere else. The amount of oil produced is based on inheritance. In this photo, we have the sweat glands, which are long tubes that produce perspiration. Sweat is mostly a combination of water, salt, and sugars, amino acids, and other bacteria. The function eliminates waste and regulates temperature. Also, perspiration plus bacteria is what causes the scent of BO. The hair follicle is located in the dermis, which is made of keratin. The hair growth all depends on the growth and rest stage. During growth, the cells in the bulb divide quickly and the hair gets longer. And during the rest stage, the follicle tightens and the hair does not grow. Afterwards, old hair is pushed out and new hair follicle begins to grow. The length and growth stage causes hair to be different lengths.
In this little video segment, we're going to be talking about the functions of the skin, because it's not just little pretty. Alright, one of the functions of the skin is to act as a protective barrier from water, air, infection, chemicals, and UV rays. Our body is waterproof because if our skin did not protect from that, we'd just be getting water all up in our organs. So...
Anyways, the skin also feels sensations such as pressure, heat, cold, and pain.
That didn't hurt.
You were supposed to say ow.
Right, so basically that means that if you touch yourself, you can feel it. Alright. The skin also acts as a temperature regulation. The body can be heated or cooled by sweat and blood flow near the surface. So basically when you're hot, you sweat, and when
I'm
you're
sweating
cold,
right
you
now.
shiver, and that acts as your temperature regulation. It's called homeostasis.
There's also the production of vitamin D in your skin layers.
And then you have your occasional absorption of chemicals and oxygen, which means we absorb stuff sometimes. So skin cancer. We have 3 types of skin cancer written down. We have melanoma, basal cell carcinoma, that's what we're gonna say, and we have squamous cell carcinoma. Melanoma is the uncontrolled division of melanocytes, which if you don't get that, like if you don't figure that out really quick, like that can get pretty bad if you don't go see a doctor. Well, it's cancer, so yeah, it can get pretty bad either way, but whatever. Basal cell carcinoma is uncontrolled division of cells in the stratum basal layer.
And the squamous cell carcinoma is uncontrolled division of cells in the
stratum spinosum layer. And there are also a slew of other diseases that you can get, such as, acne is one, and we all suffer from that. Maybe not like a thanks. And there's eczema, which I have on my arm, which makes me look diseased, it's wrong arm. And there's dermatitis, athlete's foot, rosacea,
ingrown toenail, warts, moles, disgustingness, the herpes simplex, or genital. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the documentary, you guys. JoJo Siwa signing out. Side note, we need help.
Okay, class. So we start. If the sunscreen works or not, and I'm gonna show you.
Cast. Can we just hold on?
You can't flip it. No, start over. Okay, no. For like what they're supposed to do.
30. And of course, Cassidy.
Yes, it is. I walked by that. What was that? Are you gonna talk? Hey, what's up, you guys? It's JoJo. What's happening? Okay.
You look so funny. You're
Keep going. I was looking at it.
Okay, one more time. Ready?
We're gonna win a barbecue club. Oh, you started it? Hold on.
On 3. Ready?
On or after?
Ready?
And some diseases you can get. Hey! I'm not doing it no more. That was good.
It was, but now we're sitting here. Hey.
Wait, I should like swoop in and all cool.
And I forgot the rest of our thing. Skin And Cassidy was supposed to roll in and say diseases.
Diseases!
Someone walked by.
Just cut that part.
So the accretion of
Accretion?
secretion.
Excretion. Basically, when hot, you
Skin cancer.
sarcoma, carcinoma. Is it sarcoma or carcinoma? Carcinoma.
That's 3. It's definitely.
Hapesru!